Warriors, rise. Time to get on my soapbox, Warriors. You are not a sheep. Stop. Listen to me. Warriors, this is the greatest time in human history. We have taught here at the Warrior Academy ever since I started my YouTube channel, long-term, fundamental, diamond hands, Warriors. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Let me turn my alarm off here. Warriors, this is not time to back down. It is a blue light sale right now. Stay strong, hold strong, like in a tick on a dog. Just like I said, when the SEC launched its case against Ripple in December 2020, when people message me nonstop, what are you doing, Coach JV? I'm holding on like a tick on a dog. I'm a Warren Buffett long-term style investor. I look at the fundamentals of a company. Do they have real world solve? I look at the leadership team. And Warriors, I'm telling you what, don't do what the 99.9% of people are doing right now. They're selling as it's collapsing down. Guess who's buying that fear, Warriors? Guess who's buying that fear? Crypto is here to stay. The question is, do you have the patience, the persistence, and the resilience to get through this? Now I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off right now. Many of you have the patience and persistence to stay in a relationship you don't like for year after year after year. Many of you have the patience to be out of shape and uncomfortable year after year after year. Many of you have the resilience to stay in a job that you hate year after year after year after year. I need you to have the same resilience and the same patience and the same persistence being in a job that you hate year after year as you do in the markets. Because I'll tell you what, the elites buy when there's blood in the streets. Crypto is not going anywhere. All we're waiting for is them to figure out how they're going to regulate it, how they're going to get their hands on it, and they set the net on the other side. Eventually, the sheep will come into the, I don't want to say the slaughterhouse, I guess. On the other side of the net, the sheep will come. The sheep herder will bring them in, and your price appreciation will come. This will age very, very well. All right, so let's jump right into it, Warriors. What I'm here to do, though, if you have not checked out our crypto news station, 8 a.m. every single time, Arizona time, the Good Morning Crypto Show, that is my crypto team. They're freaking amazing. Best show in the world. I actually watch my own show every single day of their show. They bring the news every day. So what this allows me to do is go a little bit deeper and help open up the rabbit hole for you guys, which is my favorite thing to do. I'm a rabbit hole kind of guy. I'm a historical guy. I look at historical patterns. My favorite economist is Ray Dalio, who takes us back year after year after year. Warriors, it's here. The collapse is here. You're not going to avoid it. You have to set yourself up properly so you can navigate through it. And the key is the richest people in the world are created during these financial times. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Blackstone. We've talked a lot about BlackRock. And I saw this on TikTok, so thank you. I wish I would have caught the video. I tried to find it again. But a gentleman did a video on TikTok, and I wanted to give him credit, but you know how that goes real fast, like squirrel. And I couldn't catch the video again, so hopefully I'll find it and give him credit. But he was bringing up Blackstone. And I had no idea, now I'm down the rabbit hole, the connection between Blackstone and BlackRock and the things that they're doing. As we look this way as sheep, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. So let's take a journey back to, when was this, 2017. So BlackRock or Blackstone or BlackRock, are you confused? The CEO, Schwartzman and Larry Fink actually did it on purpose. So Blackstone, Steve Schwartzman tells the behind the scenes story about the similar names. Larry Fink, BlackRock started as part of Blackstone. I had no idea. They used to be connected back in the 80s. Fink suggested Black Pebble or BlackRock for the name when he branded out his own Schwartz recalls. Okay, this is really interesting. So Blackstone versus BlackRock. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the mightiest financial tycoon of them all? They are both massive. You need to pay attention to what Blackstone and BlackRock are doing. So let's take a look at what they're doing. As all the sheep are looking this way, going into the slaughterhouse, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And you guys know I'm big on the World Economic Forum, and this stuff is really interesting. This stuff doesn't scare me. I'm divinely protected, divinely directed, and I'm hopefully helping people see what I'm doing through my actions and behaviors, that I'm going to bring the money back to the people. I'll become one of the wealthiest people in the world. I'll continue to verbalize that, because what you verbalize to the world and what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. And I will be a billionaire. I will be a billionaire. And when I become a billionaire, I'm going to change the narrative. I'm not going to be an armchair quarterback. I'm going to go out there and do things like Elon is doing. I'm not saying I know, like, or trust him, but what I'm saying is he's changing the narrative. He's not sitting in the armchair quarterback. He's like, screw you, SEC. I'm going to buy Twitter if you're going to tell me I can't post on Twitter. Pretty cool, right? Let's jump into it. Okay, so BlackRock versus Blackstone. Okay, so BlackRock, this is what I saw on TikTok, and I was like, hello. Think about this as I verbalize what happened in 2020. So Blackstone, one of the largest asset managers in the world, to include now BlackRock isn't involved in this, but Blackstone and BlackRock are connected, right? They're obviously connected as old business partners, okay? They're not connected right now. They're two different companies, but they are massive, massive companies. Blackstone acquires Ancestry.com, leading online family history business for $4.7 billion. In August 2020, as we're all looking this way in a pandemic, and as we're moving into a new digital age, everything being tracked through cryptocurrency and blockchain, all of your finances are going to go onto a blockchain. All of your medical records are going to go onto a blockchain. All your transactions, your voting is going to be on a blockchain. You're going to buy your house on a blockchain. Colorado, I think it was Colorado, just approved where you can do transactions in cryptocurrency to buy houses. Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing here? Ancestry.com, where all of you guys are sending your fingerprints, sending your DNA or whatever it is, your DNA to these people. How many people have put their stuff through Ancestry.com? Talk about a tracking mechanism. I don't know if that's why they're doing this, but here's what makes me think that. So the CEO of Blackstone is connected to the World Economic Forum. This shit, it's like we're watching a movie. We're in a movie right now. We're literally in a movie. We're literally in a simulation or a movie. This is wild. This is like the craziest shit ever. For centuries, they have done this through money, through media, through information and manipulation. So these people with all the money are buying things like Ancestry.com, where we're all sending our DNA to them so they could track our family lineage. I don't know if that's why. I'm sure it's a great investment, right? It says right here, Ancestry Leadership Online Genealogy and its ongoing investment in content and DNA science have enabled users to make personal discoveries and collaborate with a passionate community to the benefit of stakeholders. We are excited to follow Ancestry's team and new shareholders as they continue to expand their product offerings and research new users globally. Morgan Stanley LLC served as a lead financial advisor to Ancestry. Barclays also served as a financial advisory to Ancestry. The biggest banks in the world and now one of the biggest asset managers in the world have all of your DNA ready to rock and roll. I mean, I'm sorry to laugh, but this is like a damn movie, and I'm ready to be the director, Warriors. I mean, I hope you're enjoying this stuff. Like, let's have some fun with this. If they want to play games, let's play games. Let's play games. Let's do this. Let's do this. Look at Elon. He's like, screw you guys. I'm going to take over the Matrix. I'm not going to break free from the Matrix. I'm going to become the Matrix. So I hope you enjoy this, Warriors, because it's time. It's time for us to rise up. It's one perception shift that could change all this. If all the sheep woke up out of this slumber and started to perceive this reality different, that's why there's so many black swans right now. They know that they have goofballs like me online doing this type of research. So they try to stifle our videos. You got, Russell Brand, who I really look up to. I love his content. Russell Brand, obviously he's a superstar, so he's getting a ton of reach. I mean, he's putting stuff out there as well. I love his style. That's a similar style to mine. It's like eventually, hopefully we got over 1 million followers now. We're coming up on YouTube. If you could help us spread this information, you got people like me and Russell Brand, these long-haired hippie dudes that are sharing information, and they know we can do this now. But they know if they keep you addicted to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, or the Will Smith and Chris Rock, or, the Dave Chappelle thing and all this stuff going on, they know they have to keep the black swans going heavy on you. So here's a little deep dive into Blackstone. Also ventured into businesses, most notably investment management. In 1987, Blackstone entered into a 50-50 partnership with founder of BlackRock, Larry Fink. So BlackRock and Blackstone were connected at some point. They're literally the juggernauts in the financial world. So if you look back at Ancestry.com, they're connected to Morgan Stanley. Barclays, two of the biggest financial institutions in the world, and they are owned now by Blackstone, one of the biggest asset managers in the world. Okay, well, let's listen to what Blackstone is doing, accelerating opportunities when quarantines. Remember, never let a good pandemic go to waste. Let's see what they're doing.
John Gray had said on the conference call that Bumble in particular has been showing enormous growth.
Okay, so they're talking about Bumble, the dating app. So they own Ancestry.com now. And all of you are swiping left. So I don't know how that dating apps work, but on Bumble, I think that's a dating app, right? So you go on there and you're putting all your personal information on there. Oh, here we go.
March and April. How sustainable is that kind of growth?
We think dating is not a fad. And, people crave companionship, whether it's a bull market or if it's a recession, or they're able to go to restaurants or they're in quarantine. And I think if you're looking at the user statistics of Bumble, the video usage alone is up 80%. The average phone call is about 30 minutes. So really it's subset of engagements. And so we don't think this is a fad, and this endures across all cycles. So we're thrilled to be partnered with Bumble.
Well, another interesting deal you had made was slap dab in the middle of this corona crisis, and that's in Health Edge. That clearly will benefit from some of this remote working, given that it's a healthcare technology company. Are we going to expect you to make a lot of wagers? And these are big wagers, sometimes more than $500 million per check. Can we expect you to make wagers that really benefit in light of how the world is changing from the coronavirus?
Yeah, a lot of these, I think Health Edge is a good example of this. We try to find investments that endure across cycles. Health Edge happens to be a mission critical software business that helps insurance companies run their core operations. And that's a business that has an 80% win rate, has never lost a client in its history. It's profitable. It's very, very large. In many ways, it's outgrown traditional growth equity, but hasn't necessarily outgrown Blackstone. I think you'll see a lot more like that. In terms of COVID, there's a number of accelerants. You've seen a mass adoption of digital models. It's almost jumped 5 years forward as if it's digital model by default. You have e-commerce, online groceries, telehealth, electronic payments. Historically, 77% of payments are still done by cash and check in the world. And that's rapidly accelerating away as governments are telling people, don't use our cash. It's a petri dish of disease. And on the flip side, you have electronification of payments as people can't physically be in stores to conduct their transactions. So that's a huge opportunity.
Okay, so I just want you to hear it from what they're thinking, Warriors. They're thinking the same way we are. They're thinking the same way we are, Warriors. This is what they're doing. This is why you shouldn't be panicking right now. These companies are looking at online payments, infrastructures. Do you see the little smirk he made when he says the government thinks money's dirty? By design? I don't know. They locked you down in your house. They got you using Zoom. And as they do these things, they invest in the technologies that they force you into. It's super simple, Warriors. This is all by design. Yes, there's going to be a massive stock market crash. And yes, that's going to that's going to pull cryptocurrency down with it. But all of you that were complaining when it was really high, supposedly, in your paradigm, you're like, oh, it's not the right time to buy in. And I do feel bad. I understand. You have to listen to what I'm saying right now. For people that bought in at the tops and then you get crushed down 50 to 40%, hold. If you're in fundamental cryptos, hold. Stop being a sheep. Warren Buffett isn't fucking collapsing his portfolio if it comes crashing down with the stock market. They're buying the fear. They're adding to their portfolio. If you are in fundamental cryptocurrencies and you are in real world solved cryptos, now if you're in a bunch of shit coins, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But if you're really listening to what we're talking about in the Warrior Academy, you jump into our free Discord, we're having conversations, you watch our channel on a daily basis. We have never fudded you in or out of a cryptocurrency. We have never got you into a pump and dump, ever. We've always been fundamental long-term. Everyone in our academy is calm, cool, collect. Okay. But I want to show you this as well. Blackstone to buy American campuses, communities for nearly $13 billion. So they're buying Ancestry.com. They're looking at Bumble, and the ACC owns 166 properties in 71 university markets, including Arizona State, right where I live. I have no idea what the connection is for this, but I thought it was kind of cool. Maybe you guys can comment down below. Why would they be buying universities? Who knows? They know more than we do, right? So, well, actually, they think they do. But I know. What I do know is that this is God's land, not ours. That we are here renting this land, that we need to take care of it. We need to be good stewards of it while we are a spiritual being having a physical experience. And I plan to kick ass while I'm here. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to understand this is going to be the greatest time in human history. The greatest time in human history. The greatest time in human history. For some people, it's going to be worse than the Great Depression. That's a fact. There is going to be a stock market collapse. People are not going to be able to afford homes. Interest rates are skyrocketing. Food prices are skyrocketing. Gas prices are skyrocketing. They are going to crush the middle class and leverage them towards technology. And when you wake up from your slumber, you will be sitting there going, wow, I had these amazing opportunities to get my shit together, to stop doing frivolous things and put that money into a speculative asset and just hold long term. Whereas everybody asks, what are you doing, Coach Shavy? When it dips, I buy. When it goes up, I exercise my exit strategy. If it doesn't hit my exit targets, I don't exit. And if I do exit, when I do exit, I'm going to be stacking it into insurance. And I'm going to be securing my future. And if I need some cash, I'll borrow from my insurance plan, just like I'm the bank. It's very simple. It's nothing complex. I'm also working to get equity in businesses. People bring me on board their businesses because of my skill set in scaling businesses. We have equity in 9 companies now. So one is at 7 figures. We have another one going up to 7 figures. We have 2 and 5 figures, and the rest are in full startup. So you can do the same thing. If you have a skill set, you can partner up with people to start businesses. Warriors, this is the greatest time in human history. This is when people become multi-millionaires, because you look at the trends that are going forward and where they're moving our economy. All these black swans are to move us into the quantum financial system. It's to move us from the earth paradigm to the quantum paradigm. Think about that. We're moving from industrial to technical, from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. This is nothing new under the sun, warriors. So don't fall into the victim state of mind. Do not fall into the sheep state of mind. These dips are beautiful, not pretty for your portfolio. You still have all your tokens. You still have all your coins. Stay fundamental, stay focused, stay dedicated, and stop following the sheep. Warriors, get your shit together. Let's go.